Hey everybody, come on in. This is the Daily Bern. We're going to start in just a minute. I give you a little bit of time to get in, to like and share, invite your friends, all of that, because we have to be the media. We have to get this out to as large an audience as possible. And Facebook is doing the best job they can to suppress me. And honestly, I believe YouTube is too. I haven't built as big of an audience on YouTube as I have on Facebook, but I've been shut down in both places. I'm not even gonna judge on Periscope yet because we just started on Periscope. If you're here on Periscope, welcome to the show. But we're up in all three places. We are live now, so hello to everyone. Please comment, take part in the show. That helps us do better in the algorithm and get out to more viewers. So do that for me. And subscribe if you're here on YouTube and Periscope. Follow the channel. And you'll be able to stay with our videos and you'll be able to know every time we go live and all of that. So that would be good for me and for you if you like my shows. So this is the Daily Burn. And what is the Daily Burn? What do we do on the Daily Burn? Well, the Daily Burn is a place that we gather, all of us that are fighting in this political revolution. We gather here every day, Monday through Saturday, and we talk about our fight. We talk about the political revolution. We talk about what we're doing. What we're doing is we're trying to take back our government. Our government has been taken over by big money interests and the powerful elite. A handful of people have bought our government and bought our politicians and control our policy and control our lives with their influence. And we are trying to change that. We are trying to uproot the whole system. So people will tell me, they'll be like, we can't do anything. This is too rigged. It is too rigged. That's why we want to tear it down. This is a political revolution. This is a fight. It's just not a fight you've ever been taught about or prepared for, but it is a fight all the same. They don't want you to know how to fight. They don't want you to know how to participate in democracy. That's why they've never taught you how to do it. But this is how we do it. What we're doing right now. And I don't have a lot of faith in politics. I don't believe in politics necessarily. I believe in this revolution. I believe in what we're doing right now because the people are rising up. What Bernie Sanders is doing here, the rest of these people are running campaigns. Bernie Sanders is organizing a movement. He's building a movement, empowering the people, telling the people that they are going to have to be the ones to make this change. Not me, us is not just Bernie's slogan. It's not just clever branding, and some people have tried to adopt it in some way, shape, or form. I think Biden even tried to copy off Bernie's slogan, but it's not a slogan. It's the truth. It's not about Bernie. Bernie needs everyone to understand that he can't do this on his own. No one person can. The people, we have to be united. We have to be vigilant. We have to be active. He is letting us know, hey, Nissa, he's letting us know that it's us. It's on us to do this. This is our fight. Good morning, Royce. Good morning, Christopher. Let me see who's here on YouTube. We are not getting out very good on YouTube. If you're here on YouTube, I can't see the stats. I find it hard to believe that no one's here, but if you're here, comment and let me know you're here because I'm thinking that it's just my computer and it's not keeping up well because it says I had a concurrent viewer, but it says the average watch time was 0 seconds. So how do you watch for 0 seconds? But let me know if you're here over on YouTube and so I can see your comments as well and on Periscope. But the purpose of this show, why I started this show, I've been doing this show for 5 months, about 5 months. And the reason why I started doing it is because I saw a lot of good independent journalism. I follow a lot of it. And they were telling people the truth. They were telling us about all the things that we're up against, but they weren't telling you what to do. They weren't telling you how to fight. They weren't telling you that we're doing the right thing, that we're being presented a golden opportunity here. That what Bernie's done is organized the people and pointed us in a direction to be able to pull this off. And it's all up to us. It's all up to us. And everything in the world will be thrown at us. The kitchen sink, everything. The establishment powers that be are going to throw everything they can at us. And that's why I had to have the lawyers talk at the beginning of the show today. Let me explain to you why that's going on. You might have noticed there was a few content disclaimers at the beginning of the show. I am being taken down left and right on Facebook for copyright issues. Now, that was a problem on YouTube, and you had to put up a fair use disclaimer on YouTube whenever you were going to show. Sometimes I show the news media, sometimes I show a video, things like that. Whenever you're going to do that on YouTube, you got to use fair use, but you never had to do that on Facebook. But Facebook has drastically changed. Facebook now considers themselves a publisher, and they can control whatever they want, and they say that. That is not me making that up about Facebook. You can look that up. Zuckerberg has said in a recent announcement that Facebook is a publisher and can promote and silence whatever they want. They can pick and choose what gets to be on their platform. And they are going after everything very aggressively now. You know, the truth is being killed in real time. This corporate censorship is real. This is a political issue. Net neutrality, etc. Killing fake news. They're not trying to kill fake news. They're trying to stifle dissent. You know, I'm fake news. They need to pull me down because I'm fake news. You know, that's what the content disclaimer was about the truth. You know, a lot of people don't want to hear this message. And that's another reason why it might not be popular. I talk about personal responsibility, and a lot of people don't like that. They don't like to feel like this is our job or our responsibility. They don't want to be in charge. They want some hero to come and save them. Well, what I talk about is that we have to own this. We have to take personal responsibility for it. And this is our fight. Bernie Sanders is just our candidate. He's a fantastic candidate. I'm very happy with Bernie as a candidate, but I don't agree with Bernie all the time, and it's unrealistic to expect to. Bernie is just a man, and he's done a great job for 40 years fighting for all these important issues. He's been consistent the whole time. He has a history of integrity. He doesn't have any scandals. He's scandal free. The only thing they really have on him is his age. And they're going to throw that at us as hard as they can. They already are. He had to have some stents put in. A lot of you know Bernie just had a medical procedure. He had a few stents put in to his arteries in his heart to fix some blockage. And they're reporting it on the mainstream media as a heart attack and trying to emphasize his age. They will. They will. The media is made to misinform and distract and divide people up. That's their whole purpose and all they do. So they will continue to do that. And we just have to realize that these are all things we're up against. And don't get broken by them because that's what they're doing. They're not hiding the truth. It's twofold. They're hiding the truth because they want to fool the average person. They want the average American to believe that Elizabeth Warren has support, that Joe Biden has support. They have invisible support. They can't show it to you, but they want to tell you that it exists. They're doing that to get the average person to believe that. So the average person will vote for them once the voting starts. They're manufacturing support. There is a clear front runner and they aren't reporting on him. If we bring up some news later, I'll show you what I'm talking about, but they are not reporting on Bernie Sanders in the media at all. Now, why is that? There's a revolution happening in this country. Millions of people coming together. You know, I include a link in the description to berniesanders.com. Please go there and see if there's any way you can volunteer because there are 3 million of us that are already volunteering. 3 million volunteers to a political campaign in a primary. That is unheard of. But is the media reporting it? No. And they never will because they don't want to show the real truth of our movement. They don't want to ever show our power and our strength. Because if they were to do that, then those average people that they're trying to fool into believing that Warren and Biden have support would hear our message, would come over to our side. And this whole system would come to an end because it doesn't even take that many of us to overrun it. You know, it only takes 3% of a population to have a successful revolution to overthrow their government. 3%. The problem is that it's hard to get 3% to stay united. That is what the elite and those in power, that's their insurance policy. We never stay united. We're easily led by the media. They always get us to lay down. They almost don't know how to act when we don't. Like in this last election, we didn't lay down. We stood our ground, and Donald Trump, a reality TV star, became president of the United States because the people took a stand. The media tried to sell you Hillary all the way up until the election happened. They tried to convince you that Hillary was going to clean the clock with Donald Trump. It was going to be a clean sweep, that he didn't have a chance. He was going to get embarrassed. Is that what happened? That's what the media told you was going to happen. The media's job is to misinform you, to distract you, to divide us up in little groups and make us easily controllable. And Facebook, Google, YouTube, these are all part of the mainstream media. And they will do all they can to silence me. There's 3 people here right now. This is a 5-month-old show that was getting 300 to 500 views a day. It is completely shut down now. I get about 60 views a day now. And I want this message to get out there, and that breaks my heart. It really does. It breaks my heart that they are throttling me. But I'm not going to let Facebook's throttling and YouTube's throttling hold me back or get me down, because this message needs to get out there. And I have fallen in love with doing this. I have fallen in love with doing these shows. And I'm going to continue to get the truth out if I have to do it from my garage on a ham radio like William Cooper. William Cooper happens to be one of my heroes. And he tried to warn us of all this long ago. Kennedy tried to warn us of all this long ago. One of Kennedy's final speeches was about how the press was being taken over, and how there was a underground secret society trying to turn every man, woman, and child in this country into a slave. And they have accomplished that goal. And they have also accomplished their goal of taking over the entire media, all of it, to the point where they can edit truth in real time. We have allowed that to happen. We have allowed ourselves to get to a position where the powers that be can edit reality. I'm going to sit on that for a second. I need everyone to realize that you're going to need to get involved in politics. There are a lot of people who are very active and aware people who gather at streams and in comment sections of people that rant and rave about how voting is stupid and you can't do anything and there's nothing we can do to stop this. 60% of people can't even be bothered to vote. 60%. That is the powers that be's insurance policy. If we had those 60%, or at least 10% of them, active, involved, informed, voting on issues, voting on policy, voting for people, not voting like fools. Voting like fools, voting for a letter next to a name, that is idiocy. I'm getting pumped up. This is turning into a rant. But I'm angry. And as a content creator, I have every reason to be angry. This show, and this isn't me saying this, I'm not arrogant, but I know this show is of higher quality than what I'm being shown and what's being reflected in the viewership. I put a lot of work into this show. And there's a lot of heart put out in this show and a lot of feeling put out in this show. This is one of my least popular shows. I do 3 shows on Facebook. Well, I shouldn't just say Facebook. I used to only stream on Facebook. Now I stream to Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So I do 3 shows. I do this every day, Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m. Then I do Conspiracy Theories and Chill, which is a conspiracy theory show, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And I do Yankee Show, which is just an entertainment talk show, every Sunday at noon. And every show I do is shut down. Every show I do has dropped dramatically, is getting 20% of the views it used to get. And I've never had a problem with copyright strikes, but I'm getting copyright strikes left and right. I make my own music. That music you heard at the beginning of the show, I made that on an app. That's free music. Anyone can use. You can use it. You can make your own music. I made that music because you can't use licensed music. They've got all kinds of ways to shut you down. My wife tells me all the time, if I would follow Facebook's rules and if I would follow YouTube's rules, I wouldn't get throttled. Well, if I followed Facebook's rules and YouTube's rules and what Google and the powers that be wanted me to talk about, I would be sitting here petting a kitten, talking to you about what I had for breakfast. And yeah, I'd probably have 50 people here right now. Everyone would love that because Facebook will put it in everyone's feed. It's not because that's what everyone wants to see, it's what the powers that be want you to see. And this is what the powers that be don't want you to see. They don't ever want someone to know that they have power. They don't ever want the people to know that they have power. They want you to believe you're weak. They want you to believe there's nothing that you can do. But that is all lies. It is not true. And if we stand united, we can win. I don't care how rigged it is. If every time there's an opportunity to vote, if every time, every caucus, every voting opportunity, if it all looks like a Bernie rally and we flood the streets and we do what we need to do, we cannot be beaten. We cannot lose. There's no way for us to beat us, for them to beat us. Because when we stand united, when people stand united by the millions, they always win. That is true throughout history. Throughout time and history, it has always been true. That's not just American history, that's world history. Anytime the people have stood united, they have won. That is what it takes. That is all that makes change happen, and that is what is happening right now. So please be a part of it. Please go to berniesanders.com. Please volunteer. Please donate. If you can't donate, share the link to berniesanders.com. Talk to a friend about Bernie. Do something. Get active. Get out there and fight. Do all you can. Share things like this. Share the truth. Learn Bernie's policies. Einstein said, if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. These are all great policies, and we know that. So learn them so that you know them like the back of your hand. And when you get an opportunity to talk to somebody about one of these policies like Medicare for All, you can explain it in a way that helps them understand it, because the powers that be are going to throw billions of dollars at trying to mislead and distract people about Medicare for All and lie to them and tell them things like they won't be able to choose their own doctor and they're going to get taxed out of existence. Well, that is all fear. That's all that is fear. They're trying to scare people, make them think that that's what's going to happen. That is not what's going to happen. But if you're not informed about it, if you don't know, when somebody comes up to you and they're like, well, Bernie's going to tax me 40%, you won't know what to say. But if you're informed on the policy, then you know that no, we're talking about a 4% bump in taxes from what you pay now. And we're talking about your entire insurance premium, all of your healthcare costs, all of that going away. So it's a net gain. It's a net gain for you. If you pay for insurance out of your check at work, your check is going to be bigger. See what I mean? Because you're no longer going to be paying for that insurance. And your employer is going to be in a better situation because they don't have to pay for that insurance. So, this fear mongering about how it's going to drive everyone out of business is complete lies. Complete lies. As a matter of fact, it will allow smaller businesses to be more competitive because they'll have insurance. Everyone has insurance. They don't have to worry that they can't provide benefits to their 5 or 6 employees. You see what I mean? They don't have to feel like they're making people live below the poverty line and have that guilt. I know small business owners, and you know, everyone that owns a business is not a greedy, evil person. They don't like that they can only pay this amount and that they can't provide health care for their employees. They don't like that. So the government would be in charge of your health care. And people get afraid by that. They're like, "Oh, I don't want the government in charge of my health care. That's terrible. I don't like big government. Less government's always better. I don't want them in charge." What that means is it doesn't mean that they're in charge of whether or not your broken leg gets fixed. It means they're in charge of negotiating the best prices possible so that drug companies can't charge us 16 times more for the same prescription than they do in Canada. That's what it's for. It's not for them to, your doctor's not going to call your congressman every time you fall and scrape your knee and go, all right, Chuck scraped his knee another time. Are we going to pay for this? It's not like that. Everyone's on the same coverage. And then they'll try to convince you, oh, you won't be able to pick your doctor. If you're a doctor in the United States of America and you don't take Medicare for all, you're an out of business doctor. You can't function in a system where you won't take the only coverage that exists in the entire country. But people are made to be afraid. Have you seen these propaganda commercials that they're running about Medicare for all? It's scary. I understand why they're afraid. I understand why the average person is worried. But it's our job to inform them. The media is never going to inform them. They're going to do all they can to misinform them. But the media is a bunch of overpaid talking heads. Rachel Maddow makes what, $30,000 an episode to lie to you? $30,000 an episode. These people don't relate to you. They don't understand. They're so rich, they don't even probably know what a gallon of milk even costs. They don't go do their own shopping. But they're telling you to live within your means. These people that are pulling down $1 million salaries, six figures every year, to lie to you, to sell you an establishment narrative, and to get you to vote against your best interests. That's what the media is, and that's what people listen to. That's where they get their information from The View, from Whoopi Goldberg, which is sad. There are people that TiVo The View to watch it after work, and they get their news from it, from Whoopi Goldberg and Joe Behar and Meghan McCain. These are a bunch of idiots sitting around telling you what the establishment powers that be tell them to tell you. They are all rich. They do not share your interests or views. They don't understand what your life is like, nor do they care. All of these people, and people will tell you, oh, well, you can't control all these people. The hell you can't. Every network television channel, every cable television channel, every magazine, every newspaper, every radio station is all owned by six corporations. Six corporations own it all. So unless you're getting your media from an independent source, it is being approved by the establishment. It is an establishment approved narrative. And the only difference is what flavor you're given. You can get a Republican flavor, you can get a Democratic flavor, you can get a middle of the road flavor, you can get all kinds of flavors of the same stories, but they all get their news from the exact same sources. It all comes from the AP Newswire, from like 3 different newswires. So they're just going to put their own spin on it. But they only have the same information as every other channel has. And they don't dig into anything they're not supposed to dig into. What happened to the Jeffrey Epstein story? Where did that go? What happened to that? A sex ring with ties to powerful, rich people just went away. That didn't end when Jeffrey Epstein died. That case is still out there. They still have the leads. They still have all of that information, but they're not doing anything with it, and that story went away. Because powerful people own what you know, what you get to hear, your media, your information. Powerful people pick and choose what of that even gets to you. But no one wants to realize that. No one wants to accept it. And those of us that know it are screaming it from the rooftops, but they won't listen. It's some of the most frustrating things in the world. And that is what the powers that be, that is their insurance policy. They are good at misinforming the people, at getting people to go against their own best interests and to believe lies that are sold to them by these talking heads on TV, and to ignore people like me or people like Bernie even. Think about how often you have seen Bernie called crazy. Crazy Bernie. Crazy socialist Bernie. With his pie in the sky, unicorn dreams. It'll never happen. Unrealistic. They talk about him like that on a daily basis across the media. That he looks like an old disheveled man that just crawled out of a dumpster. That was actually said on The View. but people watch it. People eat it up. People love it. And it's not just that people love it, that's what's being put in front of them. If you have a Facebook, it is designed to control you. I just did an episode of my friend Robert Stanley's podcast, The Right to Reason, about social media. And I was on a panel, and there was 6 of us, and I did all I could to get it out there that the media is scientifically designed to control you. It's control you in every way, even your emotions. Facebook has done studies to see if they could make their users, if they could manipulate their users' emotions by manipulating what they see in their algorithm. They had to admit it. They've done studies on us. We're guinea pigs. And this happens. This is real. This is very real. But everyone's turning a blind eye to it. And that's what allows it to go on. And when I say everyone, I'm talking about society as a whole. But we have to take responsibility for them. The woke need to wake the others. It is the responsibility of the woke to wake the others. Because like I said, the media is not going to do it. They are lulling them to sleep. That's their whole purpose. They are singing them a lullaby. They're never going to wake them up. They're going to do their best to keep them distracted and divided. We have to wake them up. And we have to work on our approach with that. We have to stop being so aggressive. We need to radiate confidence. Think like winners. We're winning. So let's exude that confidence and live in that. We know that's the reality. We know we're winning. We know we're the front runner. It's not even close. We know that. And we also know that when the voting starts, it's going to get very hard for them to hide. And we know all this. But we're going to have to hold our ground. We're going to have to stay resilient and stay vigilant and keep informing people until we reach the tipping point necessary to upturn their apple cart. Because until then, they're going to lie, cheat, and steal. They're going to do everything they can to stop us. And they'll make it look like we're not winning all the way up until they have to get on their knees and submit. Because that's all they have is this illusion, this power illusion that they hold over the people. That is all they have. And we're going to take it down. Millions of us standing united, holding our ground, and demanding this change. That's what's going to make it happen. That's what's going to make this real. And we're doing that right now. So please be a part of it. But if you don't want to be a part of it, get out of our way. If you're blue no matter who, if you don't care, sit down. Let us have the primary. Let us pick the best candidate. And let's move forward united and win. Because if you let them shove an establishment shill down their throat, and you let them nominate Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, you are choosing to lose. And that is not us pouting. That is not us being babies. That is not us being Bernie or bust. That's the reality of the situation. Those people cannot win. Even if we would vote for them, they'll lose. Donald Trump will stomp any one of those people. Any one of those people I just named off has no real support. None at all. It is all manufactured and fake. Elizabeth Warren has 1/64th of the support that they're showing you. 1/64th. I guarantee it. And she's already shown you that she's not a real progressive. She's already shown you she's not going to fight for the issues that are important to us. She's proven it time and time again. So there's nothing there with Elizabeth Warren. And I'm not going to allow myself to get pulled down into that. I know you're not going to allow yourself to get pulled down into that. So let's just do it. Let's keep fighting. Stay out there. Stay in there. Stay in their face. Make sure they know we're not going nowhere. I don't care what you throw at us. And every day we'll grow a little bit. Every day we'll grow our numbers a little bit. And one day we'll reach a point to where there's nothing that they can do. And we're not that far away from it. So stay strong. Stay in the knowledge that we are winning. And keep your mind built up. Hopefully this show is helping you do that. That's what this was supposed to be for. This was supposed to be a motivational show to help build people up for the revolution and build people up for this fight. Because like bathing, motivation doesn't last. So it's recommended you do it every day. But whatever you got to do to keep your mind right, do that. Stay focused on this fight and stay vigilant, and we will win. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Daily Bern. We do this every day, Monday through Saturday. So we will be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. for another episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9. See you tonight for Conspiracy Theories and Chill at 9 p.m.